What can you tell us about young Dustin coming over to North?
Yeah, not a huge amount yet. Haven't laid eyes on him personally, but the recruiting team took coaches through what it looked like at our pick last week, and he looks exciting, doesn't he? And I think pretty quickly after the pick, you can tell he's got a bit of spunk and a bit of energy and a bit of juice. So he'll keep a few of the lads on his toes, no doubt. But yeah, the excitement of these guys that get their opportunity, it's cool to see. And he'll come in, and all we asked from him early is just to bring great effort and understand role and get to work. And from there, it's going to be a journey to see where he fits in terms of the early parts of the season.
He likes the celebration. How's Clarko going to go embracing that side of things?
Yeah, well, Clarko, he enjoys that side of things. Clarko loves his little double thumbs up and players with a bit of energy. So no doubt Clarko will be drumming up a nickname for him as soon as he comes in. Got the mullet, got the energy, so shouldn't be too hard for him.
How have the young fellas come back? What sort of shape?
Yeah, well, it's I suppose it's the buzz term this time of year from all clubs really that you're really happy and players are training the house down and feeling really good and looking really good. But from our point of view, our coaching group in particular, I feel third year really as a coaching group with Xavier Clark, Jed Adcock, myself. Clarko's obviously been here a little bit longer. Tom Lynch has gone into head of development. So we've got a coaching group that's been here 3 to 4 years, and year on year the progression is visibly evident, the improvement. Like today's session, again, it can be a little bit cliche this time of year, but today's session's as good a pre-season session as we've had. We've got a lot of our guys that are due back on Monday joining our main sessions, and if anything today we had to pull them back and tap out some of our training rather than add some on. So the guy next to me is going pretty well, and he was a real standout again today, as well as like the other, I think it's 4 or 3 sessions that we've had since returning.
Can you give us an idea of something in particular that you've got to focus on for this pre-season, or an area that you'd like to improve or take a big step with?
Yeah, little bit of a smile on my face because we put a lot of work, and I think externally it's been made note of. The inconsistency with our defensive stuff has been a focus. We had a really good patch last year. I think it was about 6 weeks where we were really stingy in defence and the way we defended. And, that 6-week patch is great, but we haven't bottled it for long enough over the 2 years I've been here. So that'll be a real focus in terms of being able to pressure Oppo when they've got the ball and force them into rush decisions, but also to work a little bit on our stability behind the ball, a bit with personnel, but also just allowing the players a simple system to buy into.
There was a lot of discussion about Jai. Before you guys have returned, how's he tracking?
Yeah, great. So Jai's been back into the club, and there was a bit made of it, and clearly that time of year, there's stories that popped out with Jai, and we've got to get out in front of it and acknowledge that there was a want or a desire at some point with Jai to seek some other opportunity, but in the fullness of day, that time's passed, and pretty quickly he's bounced back in here, acknowledged the situation, got out in front of it, I think, the way of the world, social media, and explained the situation. And from here, we love Jai. Jai's expressed his love for the club and what it's done for him, and where he sits, he's a kangaroo, and we're stoked. And in terms of role, the back end of last year, he played a mixture of roles, which we probably see exactly the same going into next season.
How receptive were the boys when he got out in front of them?
Yeah, it's probably one for Colby. But in terms of a coaching group and a club, it is. Jai's been a great servant for our club, has been, but will continue to be. And the way he drives standards, this time of year, he's particularly amazing with his ability to cover ground and give great energy and effort at training. So he just keeps doing that, and pretty quickly absorbed the info. It was pretty clear as well that the club made a statement that we really want to keep him in terms of how we value him and what potentially was coming in for him to get opportunities elsewhere. It was like, well, no, we value you much higher than that, and he's aware of that. Yeah.
He's been such a great captain. Is that a conversation you need to have with him and the coaching group and the club about whether he stays in that role?
Yeah, certainly. I was obviously briefed coming down here around the situation, and it was clear Jai was going to be of interest and a talking point. And that in particular, it's not something that we've really discussed at length. Being November, that has been mentioned in passing in terms of, okay, how do we look to manage it and process it? And again, it's a bit cliche, but each year you go through a process in terms of who are your leaders of your playing group, and what pops out of that is who is your captain. And again, full transparency. I think after the trade period, Todd Viney, footy manager, got up and said that'll be something we'll have to consider, and it's probably more unlikely than likely. So that's on the record, and I think Jai, from his point of view, he seems really clear-headed with where he's at right now, in terms of the smile on his face, the buzz he's got being around the place. So it's probably something that, as Todd said, to take his words, more unlikely than likely, but that will just give an opportunity to someone else if that is the case.
Probably how did the boys react when Jai was back on deck? How have the boys gotten around him?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think much really changed. We all have a pretty strong relationship with Jai, and me myself, I was excited to see him. Obviously, big talking point over the trade period, but kind of leave that stuff in the past and just wrap our arms around him, because there was a lot of noise floating around. But yeah, all the boys were really happy to see him, and he's been in quite regularly, ticking off some of his training and getting back going, which is good to see.
Colby, Nick was complimentary of your pre-season today. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. Just excited to be back. The break did go pretty quick, to be honest. You think 12 weeks is a long time, and then you blink and it's gone. But there's nowhere else I'd really rather be, and I'm sure the boys are the same. Excited to get all the older boys back on Monday and really get back into it. But a lot of tough days ahead, but we're looking forward to it and looking forward to improving.
Like I said, during the year, you always sort of conceded that, with your positioning, could put you at half-back where you find a lot of the footy, or you could throw you into the midfield. Where do you see your best footy, and where do you want to play long-term?
I'm not too fussed, to be honest. I feel like if my game's developing, both stages of the game, whether that be in defence or midfield, I think that's a pretty dangerous weapon to have, to be able to flip between games and weeks, maybe be a tough someone to match up against. So I think to develop my contested side of the game and be able to damage and get forward from the midfield and at the same time create ball use off the half-back, I think it's a pretty dangerous mix. So we'll keep working at what that looks like, and at the end of the day, it's the coach's decisions where they want me to play. So all I can do is train hard and keep getting better.
How's the feeling around the group, Colby? I feel like we've come to North and we've thought about, like, this is going to be the year where you guys take this big leap. You feel like this potentially 2026 could be that year?
Yeah, for sure. We have great aspirations of playing finals this year, and not afraid to say that. Obviously, we've been down the bottom of the ladder for a few years now, and it's, as you said, it's probably been a talking point. Is this the year that North Melbourne's going to make the leap? But we have strong aspirations of making it up the ladder, and we're doing the work required to get to that point. So, as I said before, there's still a lot of hard work to be done, and a few tweaks to the game plan. Maybe some personnel here and there to add a bit of a spark. But we're really excited what this season looks like, and I can say I'm extremely confident with where the group's at, and just can't wait to get started, to be honest.
You added a bit of spark last night. Is there an excitement that there's a group of really young guys coming through that are leading this charge into a hopeful final berth? Yeah,
it's exciting. You've heard the coaches up here a lot talking about just getting games into the kids and getting continuity as a team. So that young group that we've had, we might have played 30, 40 games, 50 games together now. So I feel like the growth of that group is going to really take us forward, and we're only adding to that as well. Last night, drafting Lockie, and I think we might have another pick tonight. So it's really exciting. Obviously, they're going to come in and show their talents, and hopefully they can join in with the rest of the boys and help take this club forward.
Have you watched any of Lockie's highlights? Chatting to him, he sort of fancies himself as Nick Watson sort of style forward. Pretty exciting, potentially. Yeah,
it's exciting. I feel like probably maybe a need for us. We have some exciting forwards, but they're quite bigger size. Like Paul Curtis probably isn't your typical small forward. So to have someone at the ground level doing the tricks that he has, I've seen a couple of highlights. But keen to see him train and see what he can do, and just bring his confidence and his talent. Can't wait.